At one point in time, black women's hair had become so intimidating that the governor of Louisiana decided to completely outlaw and make it illegal for black women to wear their hair out in public.
Hi, I'm Essie and you're welcome to my channel where the conversation is real and Essie's got the tea. So today we'll be talking about black hair, black history and black hairstyles. Alright, it's crazy to think that for centuries black people have been conditioned to think that our hair is anything but beautiful and presentable. People have so much negative things to talk about our hair texture is this, it's that. Just a lot of crazy negative stereotype about, about black hair. And the conventional and current beauty standard, if we're going to be honest, which is the Eurocentric beauty standard, has sort of devalued and marginalized and stigmatized and demonized black hair and black features to the point that we've internalized it and we've not even realized that we've internalized it. That is why we see so much people hating on their hair. We see a lot of negative things about black hair from black people. There is just a lot to think. I am so fascinated by the clip I'm about to share with you because that clip just showcases the richness and uniqueness of black hair and black hairstyles. Literally just the testaments that we've been really undervaluing and overlooking what we have, which is very, very rich. Anyways, I don't want to speak too much. Let's just go right into the video. But guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. All right, also give this video a thumbs up and let's just go right into it.
Did you know black women once used their hair to draw escape maps in Colombia? In the 1800s, enslaved African women forcibly taken to Colombia would communicate with their communities through braided hair. Most importantly, for planning escapes. For example, a braided hairstyle called departes, meaning depart in English, would signal that the person wanted to escape. Black women would also record with their braids the obstacles they would encounter on their journeys to help others escape. A river was represented with a braid in the shape of a worm. A Bantu knot represented a mountain. And if there were soldiers in any part of the route, they would use really thick braids still known today in the Pacific region of Colombia as tropas, which means troops in English. On top of that, inside the braids sometimes gold or seeds were hidden to ensure they would survive after they escaped. Because of these escape maps of braids, many Africans were able to escape and form the famous free settlements known as palenques. Some of you may have heard of San Basilio de Palenque, which is one of the first free black towns in the Americas. It's also one of the only remaining palenques in Colombia. It can still be visited if you're in the Cartagena region. Today, this rich history of braids is celebrated every year on May 21st at the Afro hairdressing competitions in Cali, Colombia. May 21st is Afro-Colombian Day, but it also marks the abolition of slavery in Colombia in 1851.
At one point in time, black women's hair had become so intimidating that the governor of Louisiana decided to completely outlaw and make it illegal for black women to wear their hair out in public. The Tignon Law was put into place in 1786. The style at the time for black women was to wear our hair out. The main part is our hair was covered in jewels and gems and jewelry and feathers and beads and all types of embellishments. And then all of a sudden, white women, now these are facts, not opinions, so please, but white women were not liking what was happening. There was an animosity that was tangible in the air. Okay? The white women were going to the local newspapers who were then going to the governor complaining that the autonomy was beginning to upset the local white women. And the governor already had a little bit of tension towards black women. He was quoted as saying that black women had too much luxury in their bearing, meaning they were too haughty, they were too self-assured, they were too confident with who they were as people. So he had no problem with putting this into law. But the Tignon Law basically stated that black women were not allowed to be seen out in public with their hair. They had to wear a knotted headdress, so a headscarf with a big knot in the front, or a handkerchief. So you know what happened next? Black women followed the rules and we started to wear headdresses and handkerchiefs. But you know what happened next? Yeah, we freaked those. We decided to decorate and we just did the same thing to the head wraps. We put feathers, beads, gems, jewels, different colored fabrics, and we even put hats and ribbons on top of headscarves because nothing is going to stop the innovation and creativity. The historian Virginia Gold was quoted in this book, Creole, The History and Legacy of Louisiana's Free People of Color by Sybil Klein. Virginia Gold was quoted as saying, "The actual use of the the law, the Tinyon laws, was to place boundaries on black women who had become too light-skinned, aka white, or who dressed too elegantly, or who in reality competed too freely with white women for status and thus threatened the social order. But back in France, Empress Josephine, who was Napoleon Bonaparte's wife, she started to receive intel on the fashion in Louisiana. And what did she do? Yes, Empress Josephine started to wear the Tinyon headscarf, the turban, the scarves of it all. So let's just break down how absolutely vile and insidious this is. Black women were outlawed from wearing our hair. We were then relegated to wearing headdresses, and now an empress over there is now wearing our mandatory headdress as a fashion statement, and it wasn't coined, people started calling it haute couture, high fashion. Where else have we seen that exactly? When black people do something, it's seen as ghetto. When everyone else does it, it's alternative, elegant, classy. This is nothing new, it's just history repeating itself. All I gotta say is our hair will always be our crown and glory, no matter what anyone tells us what to do, however we choose to wear it. There is innovation there. I'm gonna keep saying it, innovation and creativity and inspiration. It's trendy, it's beautiful, it's cool, it's unique, it brings in curiosity, which just lets you know that black women's hair is political, whether we choose for it to be or not. Okay, bye.
The clips are so insightful, and I've been creating natural hair content for years, and there are some of the things, like, I literally do not know about some of these things I just saw, and that was why I just felt the need to come and share with you guys, because I feel like this is a very important knowledge that every black person needs to know. This is just proof that our hair and our hairstyles is more than just a physical attribute. You know, our hair is one of the signs of beauty, resistance. Our hair has a lot of history surrounding it, and black hair is beautiful. And one thing I want to say is that the reason why black people still find it very difficult to fit in today's beauty standard is because this beauty standard, the current beauty standard, is not ours. Whether we like it or not, the current beauty standard does not help. Like, it's not in support of black people and our futures. And that is why people always have one thing or the other to say about us. But the moment we start embracing our own beauty standard, which is the Afrocentric beauty standard that promotes inclusivity, love, you know, love for our futures, like when you see someone with the same future as you, you just feel really welcomed. I just feel like this is more like a tactical rejection for black hair, and it's not supposed to be like that. Our futures, our hair, these are part of us as black people. One thing I would love to add is this whole thing about black hair and black hairstyles being childish. I have issues with this, and I think I've talked about this in some of my clips, even on Instagram, how we look down, like we undervalue our hairstyles. All right, I am from Nigeria, and I love to say this every time when I'm making a video. You know, styles like cornrows, twist, African threading, why do we look down on these hairstyles so badly? It's the fact that, you know, back then, the older generation, what they were used to were relaxers and roller sets and just anything to straighten their hair and fry their hair to the point where that hair can never revert. Now, the children mostly wore the hairstyles, like our black hairstyles. We as kids, we wore our hairstyles, like the braids, the threading, the puff hairstyle. Just those hairstyles that shows that we are Africans were left for children. They are now called kids hairstyle. And back then, the older generations, they wore more of relaxed hairstyles, you know, those roller sets, pick and drop kind of styles. And at some point, we took it now that those styles are the mature hairstyles, while those braids, cornrows, you know, different styles, those styles are from history. Like from the whole history I just shared, you would see that this is just part of us. You see matured women who symbolize authority and power, wearing that hair. But now, this present day and age, if you make that hairstyle, you'll be seen as a child. Because we've kind of pushed and overlooked our own hairstyles, that when you make it now, people will be looking at you like, what is happening? What is going on? There's this hairstyle, I think I've said this thing before. There is this hairstyle I love wearing, puff. I love, till now I still wear it, regardless of what anybody will say. And whenever I wear it, you see people telling me, this is a child hairstyle. Why are you wearing this style? You guys are so used to seeing our hairstyles on children that now, if you as an adult, you wear them, people will be looking at you some type of way. If cornrows, African threading, bantu knots, plaits, twists, if these hairstyles are seen as childish, immature, not classy, not presentable, then what style do we have as Africans or black people? If all our hairstyles are being boxed down to, styles that are just being worn at home or for schools or for just like casual events, what then do we have? Because I feel like we're kind of erasing what is ours. Yes, we still wear box braids and all that, but I'm talking about those old hairstyles that were done mostly with our own natural hair that we look down on a lot. This also stems from the fact that we think that Eurocentric standard of beauty is the norm, and natural hair and natural hairstyles are less desirable. My love, that is not true. It's not true at all. I just wish that black people would stop seeing their hair as less desirable or inferior to other non-textured hair, because that is not the truth. Every hair is beautiful and everybody should accept their hair exactly the way it is. Even though our hair resists those heat, our hair shrinks back immediately after being stretched, and when you go out, humidity hits you and it's just been all fluffy. That is just the uniqueness of black hair. My God! We have trophy on our head. You know what is growing out of your head as a black person? Go, though. Stop whining. We're already making a lot of progress as black people, more people embracing their natural hair, which is actually very good to see. And that is why I believe that we should allow people to go natural on their own will, but we should not stop preaching about the beauty, the richness and uniqueness of Afro, coily, natural hair. So I just love how interesting this video is. Very, very insightful and educative, even though I got an A in my thesis, because my thesis topic was about natural hair. I couldn't find any material for my thesis. I suffered a lot. I didn't even have an idea about this, so I'm just realizing this now, and that was why I just wanted to share this video with y'all, because our hairstyles, everything about us is very rich, and we should just stop looking down on the things that makes us African, the things that makes us unique and different from other people. No other people have our kind of hair. Just that is to prove to you just how very different we are. I don't have problems with braids, because braids are also part of our hairstyles. I don't have issues with people doing things to their natural hair, because these things have been existing for long. I just want us to lean more into the things that makes us black, the things surrounding Afrocentrism and our own beauty as black people. Our hairstyles are so diverse. Like, there is a lot where this came from. There is a lot where this is coming from. You can never get tired of the versatility of black hair. Just let me know what you think about this whole video. I'd love to hear from you about the part about natural hair being childish, and while most of our hairstyles now are seen as less desirable and all that, just let me know your thoughts about this. And also, you can share a lot more insights if you do in the comment section. I would really love to hear from you. So just share your thoughts in the comment section. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I remain your favorite natural hair content creator. I don't care what you say. Thank you. Bye bye.